He's being detained for wearing a hoodie. Yeah, I'm not joking. He's being detained for wearing a hoodie.
It's a warm day to be wearing that jacket. You're going to get hit by a car here. You're going to get hit by a car here. Stop. Stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm doing a traffic stop on you. You walked across the road in front of a car.
This happened in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and the officer is Jake Tyson. And according to the father, the young man has severe eczema and he wears a hoodie to protect his skin from the sun. And trust me, I understand that. My wife has severe eczema, and I completely get what this young man is going through. And we have to ask, why does this cop look like a fake cop? I have to be honest, when I was sent this video, that's what I thought this was. A man impersonating a police officer. Well, apparently, he's not a fake cop. He just dresses like one. Either way, this is unacceptable.
It's a warm day to be wearing that jacket. You're going to get hit by a car here. You're going to get hit by a car here. Stop. Stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm doing a traffic stop on you. You walked across the road in front of a car.
The video above my head is coming out of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. It appears to show a teen being followed and harassed by a police officer before being placed in detention for simply wearing a hoodie with his hood up. The teen refused to stop and answer questions from the police officer that prompted the police officer to follow and harass and put him in detention, unfortunately. Now, the video that has gone viral was posted by the teen's father that expressed the only reason he was wearing a hoodie with his hood up is because he has severe condition of eczema. If you know someone with that condition, then you know.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. Sumi here again. I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are. So ladies and gentlemen, in today's episode we are talking about an incident that has sparked a lot of outrage on social media and raised some of the most difficult questions about race, policing, and what it means to be black in America. So apparently, a black teenager in Williamsport, Pennsylvania was reportedly stopped, handcuffed, and detained after a police officer became suspicious because he was wearing a hoodie and jacket on a hot day. And according to his father, there was a reason for that clothing. His son has a skin condition that makes it dangerous for him to be exposed to direct sunlight. So instead of this officer asking, "Are you okay?" or "Do you need medical assistance for you to be putting on a hoodie on a very hot day?" Instead, the interaction turned into a police stop and the black teen being handcuffed. That is so sad. Now, this story also has people asking a difficult question. Would this have happened if the teenager was a white boy? Let me know what you think down in the commentary as we continue to watch a few clips from the creators that have come out to talk about this incident. And also, in case you're landing on my channel for the very first time, I hope you do consider subscribing. Tap on that bell so that when I upload anything on here, you're always notified.
Well, they believe they were being profiled by the police officer, but the father also expressed that he's taking this in as a lesson to be learned and how him and his son can handle interactions with police. But thank God, in my personal opinion, that the teen was recording, because there's no telling what the officer would have done if the cameras weren't rolling. We all know exactly what was in the mind of that officer. Now, people are online are speculating that the video is fake, that was a fake officer. But Williamsport Borough Police came out with a statement and said the officer involved is not one of its officers. And they refer everyone to Lycoming County District Attorney's Office of Narcotics. That will explain why he was in plain clothes with shorts, a t-shirt, a vest, and his service weapons. Because I believe those people in narcotics, they get to wear whatever the hell they want at this point. So that explains why he was pretty much in plain clothes. But the video is real. Now, there's still an investigation being launched of what exactly happened. And why was the teen being followed and harassed? And hopefully, at the least, that police officer should be reprimanded for his actions and how he handled the whole situation. And also, at the least, issue an apology to the team and his father.
Bullshit! What do you mean it's a warm day to be wearing this jacket? You ain't never seen a windbreaker? And when does wearing a jacket ever made you suspicious of committing a crime? And y'all might not like when I say this, but black people, this right here, I believe, is a prime example of calling young black men YNs. That creates this stereotype that opens the door for this kind of behavior. Now, I'm not making no excuse for what this damn trailer park bandit did, but I'm telling you, as black people, we have to stop calling young black men YNs. And the father comes out and make a statement like, yo, this is my son's first encounter with the police. He's wearing a hoodie and he's detained? I don't know no other demographic of parents that have to teach their children on how to deal with police officers when you're being stopped because of the color of your skin or because you look suspicious. And then these fucking trailer park bandits would be like, well, if you just comply and do what the officer asks, it wouldn't be no problem. But if it was your child, you'll be upset as a motherfucker. I'm going to have your fucking badge, buddy. My sister's husband's step cousin is a mayor. And I'm going to have your ass is fucking grass, buddy. Y'all kids be in the back of the car. Do you know who my father is? My father works for the county. We should always teach our kids to understand the laws of the land and how to encounter police officers, but we should not have to teach trauma. And then y'all wonder why we feel the way we feel about police officers when this is normally the first encounter that most black people have with police officers. Being detained, pulled over, or arrested for being suspicious when you haven't done a fucking thing. That cop needs to be fucking fired, and that father shouldn't stop until he get that fucking badge. Hey, as long as we tracking.
I'm asking you to stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm doing a traffic stop on you. You walked across the road in front of a car.
You all know this wasn't about a traffic stop, right? It is a shame that it is not even illegal to wear a jacket in the daytime, and we have to justify our wearing of clothes to make other people feel comfortable.
Stop. Stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm doing a traffic stop on you.
I'm going to give y'all 5 seconds to tell me what he was doing wrong in this video. Ding, 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 ding! If you guess walking while black, you are correct. This is exactly what we are talking about. For some odd reason, nobody wants to believe that this is an ongoing issue. Nobody wants to believe that systemic racism is a thing. Nobody wants to acknowledge abuse of power. The fact that parents have to even teach their kids that just because they are black, they have to move a certain way, act a certain way, dress a certain way, be a certain way is absolutely sad and heartbreaking. Not once in this video was he disrespectful. He didn't say anything. He just kept walking, minding his black business. Yet for some odd reason, he was thrown in handcuffs and detained and put into the back of a police interceptor. Huh.
Stop on you. You walked across the road in front of a car.
That baby was ultimately placed in handcuffs in the back of a police car because he walked across the street with a jacket on with his hood up. His father posted this. Apparently it occurred in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. And his father says, today my son had his first encounter with police in Williamsport. His first encounter was this. They said he looked suspicious because he had his hood up and a jacket on. If you know me, you know I don't play about my kids. They're not out here causing trouble. At the same time, this is a lesson for both of us. I need to make sure he knows how to interact with police even when he feels he's done nothing wrong. Things can escalate fast. He ended up in handcuffs and detained because he didn't want to stop and answer questions. As a father, my job is to protect him, guide him, and prepare him for situations like this. Whether you agree with how it was handled or not, I'd rather have the conversations now than regret not having them later on. I 100% agree with the father, and this is what we have been telling you guys about. In our community, these are the type of necessary and critical conversations that we have to have with our children that other communities may not have to have. And this was this baby's first interaction with a police officer. Merely crossing the street because he had a jacket on with a hood, he looked suspicious. All these kids wear hoodies and jackets in the summertime. I don't know how they do it, but they do. And he looks suspicious just crossing the street. He claims that, he crossed right in front of a vehicle. But I don't see a crosswalk. I'm looking in the background. Was there a crosswalk that was available to him? Not sure. But it's absolutely a necessary and critical conversation that we have to have that other communities do not. And this is what we've been trying to tell you guys and make you guys understand. Whether, like he said, whether you agree with the interaction or not, we in the black community, we have to have these conversations with our kids, because this could have turned into a completely different and possibly fatal situation. We have seen it. We know that it happens. So I'm thankful that this beautiful young man is okay and that everything worked out, and now he and his father can have those conversations that they need to have. Sometimes, even when having those conversations, we have learned over the years, we have seen, even when we comply, sometimes it can end up deadly. And this is just an example of how a situation like that could start. And thankfully, it didn't end that way.
Now, how ridiculous is this? And y'all know these YNs love wearing hoodies and sweaters and turtlenecks in 1,000-degree heat. But that was on an unnecessary stop. I hope they sue. That shit just pissed me off. Like, come on now. Like, come on.
Day to be wearing that jacket. You're gonna get hit by a car here. You're gonna get hit by a car here. Stop. Stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm asking you to stop. I'm doing a traffic stop on you. You walk across the road.
Ain't no way in hell.
Alright, welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen. Before I go deeper talking about this incident, allow me to take this opportunity just to shout out and thank all my returning old subscribers for the love and support. Those ones who keep on coming back on here, supporting me, liking my videos, commenting, and also sharing the videos just to keep me onto the algorithm. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen. I see all of you and I don't take none of you guys for granted, because yes, it is your support that always pushes me to always come back on here on a daily basis just to deliver these videos for you. So yes, your support is so effective on this channel. But anywho, without wasting any of your time, ladies and gentlemen, when I came across this story, the first thing that came into my mind was not crime. Because honestly, I was like, if I myself, I was walking on the streets and I saw somebody wearing a very heavy jacket with a hoodie on top, I would not think of crime. I would be like, is this person okay? Or maybe they are going through a medical condition. I would just ask, are you okay? Do you need any medical assistance? Maybe they are simply cold. For the people who have ever gotten malaria, even if it is 100 degrees, hot, you find someone with malaria shivering. They are cold. As you are a normal person, you are very hot, you're sweating. A person with malaria, for them, they'll be feeling very cold. Because yes, this boy actually has a skin disease that can't allow him to just be in direct sunlight. Criminality will not be my very first assumption. And that's the exactly reason why this story is so troubling. Because yes, according to the father, he says that his son was not really troubling anybody. He was not committing any crime. He was simply walking while wearing clothes that were simply help protect his health. Yet somehow that became enough for police suspicion. And that is why it still goes back to the question that most creators have asked. If that same hoodie had been covering a white boy, would the interaction have gone that way? Would the officer have immediately viewed him suspicious? Or would the officer have simply asked if everything was okay? Well, we don't know. We can't tell exactly what was in the officer's mind, right? But if you are black, you can tell the direction and why this happened like that. Studies have shown that Black Americans often report more frequent police stops and searches than white Americans in similar situations. And yes, that is one of the reasons why this story has actually gone so viral and touched most people's nerves. And another thing that actually stood out for me was the young man's behavior. In the video, he doesn't really appear to be argumentative. He doesn't say anything, but all he was doing, he continued recording. Because yes, if he didn't record, most people would not believe this. Most people would actually think this did not happen. The young boy is not yelling at all. He isn't insulting the officer. He is mostly quiet. Some people believe he stayed quiet because he knew that arguing with police would make the situation worse. And I know others would see this differently. Others might say he would have defended himself. Either he's wrong or he was not wrong. Many Black parents in America have always had conversations with their children about staying calm during police encounters because they fear things can escalate quickly. Because imagine this being your very first interaction with a police officer. Instead of walking away feeling protected, you walk away in handcuffs. That can leave a lasting impression on a young person. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, with this whole story, it reminds us that appearance doesn't really tell the whole story, because someone wearing unusual clothing might not really be hiding any criminal activity. They might be dealing with a medical condition, might simply be doing a personal choice. So it is so dangerous when assumptions replace questions. And what does this story really mean as a Black American in America? Many Black Americans say they often feel they have to think about things that other people don't. For example, how they dress, how they speak, how they move, whether they keep their hands visible, whether they respond quickly enough, whether they stay completely calm, not because they have done anything wrong, but because they are worried that a simple interaction could escalate. And yes, that doesn't mean that every police officer behaves unfairly. Some police officers definitely serve their communities professionally and respectful. But stories like this remind us why trust between some Black community and law enforcement remain complicated. When people feel they are always judged first and understood later, trust definitely becomes difficult to build. Of which some people believe the officer was simply investigating suspicious behavior, others believe racial bias played a role. Whatever your opinion is, I think at this point we can all come into agreement on one thing. If someone has done nothing wrong, the goal should always be to de-escalate first. For example, ask questions, find out what is going on, treat people with dignity. This story isn't about just one teenager. It's about trust, assumptions. It's about how quickly an ordinary day can become life-changing. Whether you believe race played a role or not, I think this case reminds all of us that appearance can be misleading. People deserve to be treated as individuals. Hopefully, conversations like this can encourage better understanding between communities and law enforcement. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to hear your thoughts. Do you think this encounter would have escalated if the teenager would have been white? Or do you think it would have ended that way if the teenager said something to the police officer? What do you think? In case you found this discussion thoughtful, don't forget to subscribe on the channel, share the video, like the video, and also give me your thoughts down in the commentary. I'm not really intending on making the video very long because I don't want you to be bored. Otherwise, I think we shall meet again in another video that I'll be uploading. Otherwise, have a beautiful day. Stay blessed. Bye bye.